everyone, I'm Ashley and welcome to yoga. Today I have my partner with me again, Yusuf. We are going to break down how to properly do Sun Salutation A, which is a set sequence of a handful of poses. So we're going to first break everything down nice and slow, and then we'll run through it however many times Yusuf is able to run through it.
Yes, so a little.
Yeah, once. Twice probably. Okay, so when I say Sun Salutation A, do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Well, I hear that it sounds like you're greeting the sun, but at the same time, I have no idea what any of the moves are incorporated in there. So I have no idea what that looks like.
Yeah.
I would assume it would be something like you're going to be doing standing up,
that is
greeting
one
the
of them.
sun.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you know more than you think you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of poses. A lot of the poses we did last week are part of Sun Salutation A. So it naturally kind of like flows into this week's practice.
Cool.
Yeah,
all right.
So let's get going. So we'll start at the top of the mat. Oh, and you won't need any props for today. Set that aside.
Okay,
All right.
top of the mat.
So start at top of the mat and just stand there, chest open. So this is mountain pose. So boom, you've nailed the first pose.
Yes.
Of
This
Sun
one
Salutation
This
A.
one feels so comfortable.
It's my favorite pose.
I can get this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
And then we're gonna inhale our arms up high to the sky. And then we're gonna exhale, hinge forward to a forward fold. And then exhale, we're gonna halfway lift. Just kidding. That's all the way lift.
Okay.
Just gonna halfway lift.
Okay.
For your forward fold for this demonstration, I'm gonna have you bend your knees all the way down.
Like this.
So that's gonna be your forward fold for Sun Salutation for today, and then we're going to inhale, come up to halfway lift. Exhale, we're gonna fall forward again. I'm gonna have you set your hands down on the top of the mat, and then you're gonna walk your hands back to high plank.
My hands or my...
Sorry, your feet back to high plank.
Okay.
We're gonna get in high plank. From here, we're going to Chaturanga.
Okay.
Do you know this pose?
Is it the one where you're lying down just on your belly?
No, it's kind of like a push-up.
Okay. So it's like this?
Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate it first.
Alright.
Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to do Chaturanga. So you can get into high plank. It's kind of like a push-up, but a push-up you would go straight down like that. You're not going straight down. You want to go forward, like hinge forward on your toes a little bit, and then you're gonna go halfway down, and then upward dog is this position. So my legs are actually not on the mat.
I see, okay.
So that's one way. You can also do Chaturanga like that and then lower yourself all the way onto the ground, and then you can come up low Cobra. This is actually the variation I tend to do because I have a lower back issue, and upward dog usually bothers it. If you're like, there's no way I'm going to do a push-up that's not in my strength level, you can also do what we call knees, chest, shin, which is exactly what it sounds like. So you'll go into your high plank, you drop your knees down, you drop your chest down, you drop your chin down, and then from here, you'll lengthen and then go to low Cobra.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different variations.
So can I try all three then? Let's do all three, and then I'd like to see which one I feel comfortable
I
with.
do want to give an example. You can really injure yourself doing Chaturanga improperly. I did it as a beginner yogi. I messed up my shoulder really bad, and now it clicks all the time, which Yusuf can attest to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes noises.
Yeah. You'll see a lot of people do Chaturanga, and it kind of looks like the worm, which is kind of like what you did. Like you'll do this little like scoop thing. That's incorrect. You don't do a scoop. It's not a worm. It's like a half push-up. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna grab my block right here. So a good way to know how far down to go is setting a block right there. So you could go high plank and then like that. So you don't want to be able to touch your block. So maybe even putting it on medium setting would be better. So it's not a full push-up, it's a half push-up. So you're like right there. And then again, you can either go to upward facing dog or drop down to low cobra, or maybe your cobra is right here. You can play with cobra variation a lot depending on how big of a back bend you want.
So the difference between cobra and upward facing dog is that your thighs are off the ground for upward facing dog?
Upward facing dog, the only part of your legs that are touching are the top part of your feet.
Got it.
Everything else is up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah. So your feet or legs are like very engaged in upward facing dog. It's a very active pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mountain I'm comfortable with.
Yes.
Last week, if you didn't watch the video, we went over both half fold and full forward fold.
Forward fold, halfway lift.
Okay, and forward fold, halfway lift. So I feel very comfortable with that. It's so after my forward fold, that's when I put my hands down and I'll put my legs back to high plank.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, if I could, I'd like to start at my half plank.
Yeah.
And before we go even anywhere here, I'd also, I think we talked about this last week too, how my back is, how I'm supposed to, because like I can feel a lot in my lower back right now when I'm in high plank, because it kind of tends to want to go down. Gravity is forcing it down.
Yeah.
Is that something I'm trying to keep straight still, or is that just kind of a...
No, so you are actively, like if you were to just hold plank position, you're actively pushing away from the ground. You're acting as if someone is pulling you up right here. Core is engaged, which again we mean we're sucking in the belly button like to the back of our rib cage, but then we also have that up motion.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that looks
here.
good.
All right.
So a lot of that compression on the lower back should be eliminated right now.
Okay.
Does it feel that way?
Yes.
Okay.
So then from here I go, so one of them was you can go like halfway like this.
So come back up.
Okay.
So like I said, a regular push-up, you're just going straight down. It's not, this isn't a regular push-up, so you're shifting your weight forward.
Oh, okay.
Don't bend down yet.
Okay.
Keep a high plank. Right there is where you want to be, and then you halfway like tricep push-up.
Okay.
And then you either go to upward facing dog, yeah, that looks great,
Okay.
or low cobra.
Or a low cobra.
Yeah.
And I like to maybe, yeah, okay. I like to feel low cobra a little bit more.
Yeah.
I want to try it all again though.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in high plank.
Yeah.
Core's engaged.
Yeah, you're pushing away from the mat. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
That's where you want to be.
All right.
Yeah.
Come forward, down, and up.
Yeah.
That feels pretty comfortable to me. I like that. Okay. And then from here.
And then from here, you're pushing back to a downward facing dog.
Okay.
So again, it's up to you. Like how you were doing is one variation. You can kind of push back on your knees and then go to downward facing dog, or you could lift the lower half of your body up like that and then push back.
Okay.
Yeah. And then again, with downward facing dog, you want your weight to be evenly distributed on your index and your thumb. I would even like widen the stance more. You're dropping your head, you're externally rotating your upper part of like, yes, right there. Your shoulders, triceps, core is engaged, sit bones are the highest part. And then again, go ahead and you can bend your knees as much as you want. Don't feel like they have to be locked down.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And so for Sun Salutation A, traditionally you hold right here, you hold downward facing dog for 5 breaths.
Okay.
We don't have to right now, but just, yeah. And then we're actually going to make our way to the top of the mat.
After that,
Yeah.
okay. So
in downward facing dog. And then there's different variations to get to the top of the mat. You can jump to the top of the mat, or you can walk to the top of the mat.
Okay. I feel more comfortable walking.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we're gonna inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up, lifting our arms over our head again. Exhale to mountain pose. So that is one round
Okay.
of Sun Salutation A.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you know the story behind that? Why it's called Sun Salutation A, or?
Because like you said, you're giving like thanks, love, gratitude to the sun.
Okay.
So this is a set sequence that you would do like in the morning time.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
All right.
So again, so you'll start in mountain pose.
Yeah. I want to shake it off.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Pick up.
Wheel it around.
Yeah.
All right. Starting mountain pose.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're here, you kind of want to. You said open up your chest. Is it kind of like?
It doesn't have to be like
Yeah.
my chest is open, but just like actively your shoulders are pushed back, I would say. You're never wanting to like fold forward or like have your chest be in yoga.
Okay.
Like, you always want to broaden this area. So it doesn't have to be like overly I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. Like
Exaggerated.
exaggerated. Yeah, it doesn't need to be exaggerated, but like an active your shoulders are back and your chest is open.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever that looks like for you. It should be a comfortable resting pose. Like a lot of times teachers will say, let's take a few breaths in mountain pose, and then you're like closing your eyes and you're just grounding right here and you're being mindful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we're starting here, then we're gonna inhale our arms up above our head. Exhale, fall forward. Sometimes I say swan dive forward. There you go. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, jump or step back through Chaturanga. So again, your variation of Chaturanga, whatever that looks like.
Okay.
So you don't hold in high plank.
Okay.
This is not like a held pose. This is just part of getting into
Okay.
Chaturanga.
So from here, you just kind of go.
Yeah.
And
then exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Again, we're holding here for 5 breaths. Make sure that core is engaged. Shoulders are externally rotated. Finding a set gaze. And whenever you feel ready, you're gonna look to the top of the mat, and again, jump or step forward, however you want to find the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to mountain. How did that one feel?
that felt good. Yeah. I want to do it one more time without pausing in high plank though, just to see what that flow is like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Chaturanga, like that part, it's one breath. So it's a lot of movement. I'm not expecting you right now to like nail it all in one breath, but like eventually as you get familiar with Sun Salutation and your practice advances, you'll be able to do the jump back Chaturanga all in one breath.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a quicker movement. Sun Salutation, so there's this one A and then there's another one B that we'll do next week, which is much more vigorous. They're used as like to warm up the body. So they're done in like traditionally at the beginning of like your yoga practice.
Okay.
So it's to like warm up the body, get your blood pumping.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So so it's a lot of movement. It's meant to be tiring, basically. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So mountain
Yeah,
pose.
so a good mountain. Inhale up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, jump or step back. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale up, and then exhale. Hold in here for 5 breaths. And a lot of time here, because like when you're doing sun salutation, you're doing them repetitively. You'll do at least like 5 in a row, which is very tiring. You're gonna feel that your heart pumping, getting hot. And so a lot of times teachers here will do like the take a nice big inhale and then audible, let it out, exhale. And that's really helping like releasing that energy, that heat that you're building up in your body. So you're really trying to like take control of the breath and your heartbeat right now, because your heart is pumping. You can feel it when you're in down dog, being still. So whenever it feels like 5 breaths, I'm really bad at counting. Look to the top of the mat, jump or step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise to the top. And exhale to mountain.
All right.
How did that one feel?
That feels good. I can feel like you said, the heart pumping, and when it's all continuous, it is tiring.
Yeah.
I did have a question when you're at mountain and your hands are reaching up. Are you looking up to the sky too as
Yeah.
you're going up? Okay,
Mhm.
so your head is also gazed up. Okay.
Yeah.
Now looking forward.
Yeah, I usually follow my head with my hands. Yeah. And then for like coming forward, sometimes I'll go like this. Sometimes I like to exaggerate it and go like this. So even like that part you can play with a little bit. Obviously if you're in a packed class, don't go like this.
Yeah.
So you're gonna hit everyone. But that's also like another variation. If you're in a packed class, it's going to be more convenient for you to come like this and go down.
Okay.
So just little things to be mindful about, and also to just play with your practice. And I'll do it differently like every single round.
Okay.
So it's just nice to have variations in your practice. It doesn't have to be so like militant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna try one more.
Okay.
So.
We'll get into mountain. Inhale up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Jump or step back to Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Resting here for 5 breaths. And again, whenever you've reached 5 breaths, go ahead and look to the top of the mat. Jump, step, float, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, up. Exhale to mountain. There you go.
Good. Yeah. I feel comfortable with that now.
Sweet.
Yeah, it flows really nicely.
Yeah.
The struggle is in downward dog for sure, where I feel it the most, but I'm still learning and practicing with that one, so.
Yeah, and again, like if you're ever in like a full class, if down dog feels like too much, just bend your knees and drop down to child's pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
No one's ever gonna question you on
Should we?
whatever variation.
So when you're up like
Yep,
that,
so then you just, if you're like, this is way too much, bend your knees, drop down child's pose. So that's one variation. Another variation, you can bring your hands back. No, just down on the ground. I like to do that a lot because even having your hands out in front of you can be very active. So this to me is more of a restful variation. That's just my opinion. Also, I know like Yusuf's knees and thighs are separated. You can also have them together and touching is another variation. I don't know if that's in your wheelhouse.
not mine.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, this is just another variation that you can play with,
Okay.
just giving options.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident about it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sun salutation, it's just important to know because like I said, it's usually done like in the beginning of class to like warm up the body, get your blood pumping. But then also like that chaturanga part is used a lot, especially in vinyasa. Like that's usually what, like you'll hear a teacher say like cycle through your vinyasa, and that's what they mean. They're meaning the chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. That is like called your vinyasa, like when you're cycling through your vinyasa, or they'll just say cycle through your chaturanga, or just meet me at down dog. Like that's that sequence that they're talking about, just
Okay.
that one subsection of sun salutation A. So that's important to know too. I feel like if you were a newbie and someone just like said that, you'd be like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
So that's just, yeah, it's important sequence to know. And it's used a lot to link other poses and sequences together. So you might do like one set sequence and then they'll do like one round of sun salutation A before they lead into like another sequence. So it's just, it's like a building block that's used a lot in yoga. So it's just, you'll feel, or at least I did, I felt a lot more comfortable in yoga once I knew my sun salutations because they're used all the time.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.